Good morning, all of you. Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? यहाँ पे क्यों नहीं यार? 1 minute. Screen is not going to visible over here. क्या हो गया? अरे उल्टा डाल रहा हूँ क्या? This is USB. मुझे लग रहा है स्क्रीन शेयर का कुछ ऑप्शन आता है ना, विंडोज एल. नहीं, आई एम नॉट श्योर. Am I audible, MTech student? वहाँ पे भी audible. But you can't hear. I can't. You are audible, but you can't hear us, sir. Ah, that's true. I am not able to hear. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
हाँ. Now I can hear you. Okay. But I am not able to see my screen over here. दिख रहा है लेकिन यहाँ का स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हो रहा. Please students, wait a minute. I am not able to see the screen right now. नहीं तो फिर आपको भी मोबाइल से ऑनलाइन होना पड़ेगा क्या? Let me ask for somebody's help. Means you have joined, Muskan. Are you able to join? ठीक है. Maybe I can ask somebody's help, but meanwhile we can start. Okay. Okay, I hope that you are able to see the screen. Yes, is it visible? Okay. Now, last time around we have talked about systolic array where we have seen this particular, and then we have seen the 3 cross 3 multiplication. So today we are actually interested to see that how actually we can draw a systolic array diagram. Okay. Now, whatever the content that I am going to cover right now, that for that you can actually follow the KK Parhi book. Okay. Now, when I say systolic array, then systolic array has to be defined in a dependency graph. Okay. So till now, when we are talking about the graph, then we are talking about the DFG, which is a data flow graph. Okay. Now, here in a systolic array, we used to have a one kind of graph representation. We used to define those graph as a dependency graph. Okay. Now, dependency graph is a graph where the actually all the nodes are basically interrelated. Okay, that means that for a node the input is also passing through another node, and as well as the output which is being generated, that is also supposed to be go to another particular node. Okay, so when there is a this kind of dependency, then we are consider that particular graph in a dependency graph. Apart from that, here in a dependency graph, all the node are having a similar functionality. Okay, so node is nothing but my processing element in my systolic array. So that systolic array node processing element is doing the same functionality whenever I am defining it. So regular dependency graph, but the presence of an edge in a certain direction of any node in a DG represents the presence of the edge in the same direction to the all the node. Okay, so that means if in a one particular node the input is coming from a certain direction in the left hand side, then for the all the node this thing is applicable. Okay, so as this processing element is same in my graph, so for the processing element, the direction of the input output would be same for all the processing element inside my that graph. So that is a regular dependency graph. Now dependency graph corresponds to a space representation where there is a no time. So actually here the instance is being assigned at time is equal to t is equal to 0. Now systolic array has a space-time representation where each node is mapped to a certain processing element. So as we have seen last time that processing element is a very important individual block that you can find it out in your systolic array architecture. Now you need to find out that how this processing element is executed and at what time interval this particular processing element is executed. And another thing is 1 minute. हाँ अरुण हाँ अरुण मैं एक्चुअली LT14 में लेक्चर ले रहा था, तो मेरे लैपटॉप से यहाँ पे जो स्क्रीन है उसमें प्रोजेक्ट नहीं हो पा रहा, इसलिए मैंने सोचा विंडो पी, हाँ मीन्स वो मैं यही जानना चाहता था कि वो विंडो पी में मुझे डुप्लीकेट करना है. ओके हाँ अभी हो गया, हाँ ठीक है ओके 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 थैंक यू. ये शॉर्टकट ही मुझे नहीं मालूम. Hello. Now, what we are discussing that systolic array, ultimately space-time diagram. That space-time diagram we need to draw. Over here, we need to provide the scheduling vector and as well as the processing vector, how they are being processed. So today we will see that how we can actually draw that particular graph, okay, that we have seen in our previous example. So systolic array design is maps n-dimensional data dependency graph to a lower dimensional, that is n-1 dimension dependency graph where there is no time vector is being defined. Now in order to draw a systolic array, there are few vectors that we need to understand. Okay, One is a project vector, another is a process space vector, and another is the scheduling vector. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of this projection vector? All the vector. So let's see, the first is a projection vector. So projection vector is also defined as a iterative vector, where it is a D1, D2 is, let's say, that element of this particular project vector. So project vector is always a column vector. Now here, what does the project vector specify? So two nodes that are being displaced by multiples of D are executed by a same processor. So that means what I am trying to say, that one particular element is doing a multiple job. If you remember the concept of your folding, then in a folding, ultimately that particular unit is doing a job of a multiple time. Okay. But now what you need to ensure that this particular block should not be executed at the same time. Okay. So in a one iteration, it will perform a one particular operation. In another iteration, it will perform the another operation. Okay. So ultimately, you need to ensure that whatever the operation that you are actually mapping to that processor, that are not having a dependency on a same time. So that means they cannot be executed at the same time, but they has to be executed at a different time interval. Okay, so that is some sort of iterative nature. In a one iteration, this particular operation is being executed. In a second iteration, the another operation is being executed. Now, so the two nodes that are being displaced by D or multiples of D are executed by same processor. Now process space vector, this is also a one vector which you can consider that it is your row matrix kind of thing, where any node with the index ij would be executed by a processor. So now I will define that this particular operation is being defined by this particular processor. So it is something which is related to resource binding. Okay. So if you have gone through your CAD algorithm, in the CAD algorithm you are identifying a one particular resource which will perform a one particular operation. Like if I consider a adder, then adder can do a addition operation as well as a subtraction operation. If I do a ones complement of subtraction, okay, so where adder can do a multiple thing. Okay, so that I will map that this addition operation will be performed by this adder, this subtraction will be done by this adder. Okay, so that I mean by process space vector, where index ig is nothing but my operation that I am identifying. So that operation will be done by this particular processor which I have identified, and that processor is nothing but one particular resource which I would like to use for my activity. Now scheduling vector is any node with index I would be executed at which particular time instance. Okay, so at which particular time instant one particular resource is being executed, that I mean by scheduling vector. Okay, so three vectors are important. One is a project vector, another is your process vector, and another is a scheduling vector. So these three vectors are very important. Apart from that, another important parameter that we need to find it out, that is a HUE, that is hardware utilization factor. So that is nothing but the multiplication of my scheduling vector with my projection vector. So ST is nothing but my scheduling vector and D is nothing but my projection vector. So scheduling vector, when it is multiplied with the your projection vector, and if I take a reciprocal of that, then it is basically defined as a HUE. HUE stands for hardware utilization efficiency. Okay. So this always comes in terms of the percentage. Okay. So ideally, I want HUE is 100%. If HUE is 100%, then what it specifies that your all the processor are active at all the time. Okay. So what is your ideal architecture? Ideal architecture is where whatever the resources that you are using, that resource should be active all the time. Okay. So that means comes out to be HUE value is 100%. So this because the two tasks is executed by a same processor, and your PTD, that means process space vector and project vector must be orthogonal to each other. Okay, so that means whatever the resource that you have identified, and according to that, whatever the process or whatever the operation that you are identified, so that has to be defined in a different time zone. That means if I consider that this particular adder has to be do the addition as well as it has to be do with the subtraction. So whatever the addition that is being executed by that adder, that addition has to be at a different time interval than your subtraction. So if the same resource is doing a multiple job, then that should not be done in a one iteration. That is the simple thing which is being defined by this particular multiplication. So PTD has to be always 0 and this STD, as I defined that hue is always a one particular value which defines your percentage. So this has to be not 0, because if this is 0 then hue is infinite. Okay, so STD has not to be 0 and PTD always has to be 0. That you need to always identify. So if A and B are two node which I need to map to a same processor, then they cannot be executed at the same time. As I said that कि आपका अगर एडर है वो एडिशन भी कर रहा है और सब्ट्रैक्शन भी कर रहा है. So since one resource is doing a multiple job, then it has to be executed at a different time interval. तो आपका IA जो नोड है वो जिस टाइम पे शेड्यूल हो रहा है, that I am defining STIA. So STIA what it defined that कि जब मेरा नोड A शेड्यूल हो रहा है और STIB is a point at which the node B is being scheduled. So node A and node B cannot be scheduled at the same time. ठीक है? Apart from that, this DG is actually defining a transformation to a space-time representation by having a spatial dimension as a temporal dimension, where I dash is t is equal to 0. So this actually you will realize it when we talk about the example. But here that j dash is nothing but a process axis and t dash is a scheduling axis. So this will be more clear when we talk about the example. Now we will talk about the different cases which are being defined inside the KK-PAR. If you understand one particular case, then you can go through remaining all the cases. What I believe that total 7 cases are defined. So cases are based on certain assumption on your D, P and S vector. So we have already seen these 3 vectors which are important. Okay, this projection vector, process space vector and scheduling vector. Now this 3 vector, if I assume one particular value, then they define one particular case. Okay, what is the meaning of that particular case? That we will discuss. Okay, so the case is where the input is being broadcast, result are moving and weight are staying on the same position. So this case is actually being identified by choosing this particular vector. Okay, so here you just assume that I have assumed one particular vector value. That means one process space vector I have considered, one projection vector I have considered and one scheduling vector I have considered. So this particular vector I have considered. Now this is actually defining this particular scenario. Now how they are defining this scenario, we will see. Now let's see that any node IT I am defining, that is being defined as a IJ. So if I calculate my mapping of the process vector, then process vector is being defined as a PTI. P is a process vector, and when I multiply with one particular node, now this node is identified as a IJ. So that means this node is having a IJ index. Okay, so we are considering it is a 2-dimensional space. In a 2-dimensional space, that node is being identified by IJ. Now, if I want to find out the processor for this particular node, then that is being calculated by PTI. So PT is my process vector. If I multiply my process vector with this particular node, then I consider that this node is being mapped to this particular process node. Okay. So I am calculating PTI. So PTI, so I is ij and PTI I will consider as a 0, 1. So if I consider this PTI with this I, then you will get j. Okay. And then I am finding out the scheduling vector STI. Okay. So how, at which particular time this particular vector is being scheduled. If I want to find out, then I need to multiply this I with STI. So if I multiply this I with STI, then I will get I. Okay. So this I am getting a mapping of process vector and the scheduling vector. Now I need to find out hue. So we have observed that hue is 1 divided by STD. Now ST is given to you, D is given to you. So from that you can find out the multiplication of ST into D. This always you need to ensure that it has to be not equal to 0. Okay? So STD if you find it out, then here if you multiply ST with D, then you will get out 1. So here you are getting hue is equal to 1, that is 100%. That is the best result that you can get it. Now we need to prepare one table. Now this table is very important to draw the systolic array diagram. Now here age I am defining. Age means ultimately I want to draw one particular graph. Okay. Now for that I am assuming some direction. Now I am considering weight I will design in 1 0. So that means weight I will define into x direction. Now see, on paper I need to define all these vector. Okay. So on a paper, what is the easiest way? One I can define in a x direction, one I can define in a y direction, and one maybe I can define in any diagonal. Okay. So that vector I am assuming. So here weight 1 0 is a simple assumption that I will define a weight in a 1 0. When I define 1 0 vector, then what it says that it is simple x-axis. When I say 1 0, okay, so 1 0 on paper is simple x-axis. Okay, so always I will define weight in a x-axis. Then input will be in 0 1. So 0 1 will be 0 1 will be your y-axis. Okay, so I will define always in a x direction my weight. I will define my input always in a y direction. Okay, and result I will define in 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 it is something in your fourth quadrant diagonal value. Now you can take it in a first quadrant also. There is no problem. Okay, this is just a one assumption that the book is following, that just I am carrying it and I am explaining it. Okay, so just to define this vector on a plain paper, I am assumed the direction. So weight is 1 0, input is 0 1, and result is 1 minus 1. Okay, so ultimately this example is to just show a one simple filter, FIR filter. ये एक FIR फिल्टर है. FIR फिल्टर में यूजुअली क्या होता है, आपका इनपुट होता है, एक वेट होता है, इन दोनों का मल्टीप्लीकेशन होता है और फिर आपका आउटपुट जनरेट होता है. So simple, it is something is equal to y is equal to w into x, where w is a weight, x is a input, and y is being generated. So you have a different w. According to that, you have different x value. You are multiplying w with x, and all d you are activating. Okay, FIR filter is being defined. So this is FIR filter. So for that, the weight has to be one input. Input vector is has to be that x has to be one representation, and your result will be generated, that is y. So that I am defining as a three different vector. Input is 0 1, weight is a 1 0, and result is 1 minus 1. This is a purely an assumption. As I said that just to represent that, they have considered this way, it is a different. You can consider input as a x-axis, weight as a y-axis. So it is up to you. Result you can define in any direction. Maybe 1 minus 1 1 1 1. So according to that represent will change. Okay. So here this is simple assumption. So for age I am considering age. That means that vector I am considering. For weight, it is 1, 0. Input, it is 0, 1. And for a result, 1, minus 1. Now I need to find out these two vectors, PTE and STE. So PTE is nothing but my process vector, and S is nothing but my scheduling vector. So I will multiply each edge with my process vector, then I will get the exact value of the process vector for this particular direction, as well as the space vector for this one, this edge. So PT, ST I am calculating. So PT is already being, hello?
It takes you the
Hello?
space bar one line at a time, or enter.
Something is speaking in between.
In the less you can search, you can go a particular line number,
Hello?
you can go upward, backward. So here it is.
I am not sure. I think I can hear the Berati sir voice. Somebody is sitting in a Berati sir cabin and attending the lecture, what I can perceive. Okay. So now what we are doing, what we are discussing, that this edge we have assumed, I will multiply this edge with the processor vector and scheduling vector. So this edge 1, 0, if I multiply with this PT 0, 1, then I will get 0. PT is 0, 1 and this edge is 1, 0. So that value I am getting as a 0. Okay. Simply this 1, 0 I will multiply with this ST vector. So 1, 0 multiply with 1, 0. So I am getting 1. Okay. So this way all these values are being obtained. Okay. So PT is 0, ST is 1. Then this is 1, this is 0, this is minus 1, this is 1. So this all value you can get it. Considering this is also my assumed value, this is also I have considered for my representation. Okay, with that in this table this value you will obtain. Okay, now this PT, okay, so this PT is you need to consider as a direction, and this ST you need to consider as a delay element. Okay, now how you can see it? Now you just observe it. Now here input is having a PT value 1. Okay, now input I want to define. So for input 1, this says that 1 suggests that this is positive x direction. Okay, now this you need to consider. See, this PT value can be 0, 1 and minus 1. Only these three possibilities is there. There won't be any third possibility. Okay, now I consider this 1 is a positive x, this minus 1 is negative x, and this 0 I am considering that I will at the same position. Okay, if I am getting 1 over here, then I consider I am traveling in a positive x direction. If I am getting minus 1, then I am considering I am moving in a negative x direction. And if I am getting 0, then I am considering that I am staying at same position. Okay. Similarly, here ST value could be 0 and 1. You will not get this ST value as a minus 1. If you are getting a minus value, then ultimately this assumption, whatever you have made it over here, that you need to change. Either that you need to change, or maybe this process vector you need to change. Okay. So this STE could be either 1, 0, or maybe it could be 2, 3 also. Okay. But STE value always greater or equal to 0. ठीक है, तो अगर ये 0 है, that suggests that number of delay element is 0. When it's 1, then it suggests that number of delay element is 1. Now from this graph I need to draw this block diagram of this particular case. Now This is my input. For this input, I am having 1. So that suggests that this PT is always showing you direction. This ST is showing you number of delay element. Now here input against 1. So that means input is moving in a positive x direction. Now here your result is -1. So that suggests that it is negative x direction. So here you just observe that कि ये मेरा प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट, ये बॉक्स जो है वो मेरा प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट है, ठीक है। ये प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट जो है उसके लिए मेरा इनपुट मेरा पॉजिटिव एक्स डायरेक्शन में आ रहा है, ये मेरा पॉजिटिव एक्स डायरेक्शन, ये मेरा आउटपुट जो है वो नेगेटिव एक्स डायरेक्शन, और जो वेट है उसके लिए 0 है। तो डेट मीन्स कि वेट वो यहीं पे रह रहा है, ठीक है। ये पर्टिकुलर बॉक्स जो है उसके लिए आपको क्या देखना है कि यहाँ पे इनपुट जो है उसके अगेंस्ट में 1 है, तो ये मेरा पॉजिटिव एक्स डायरेक्शन है। सो अगर पीटी की वैल्यू 1 है तो वो आपको बताता है कि आपको पॉजिटिव एक्स डायरेक्शन में मूव करना है, नेगेटिव है तो वो बताता है आपको नेगेटिव डायरेक्शन में मूव करना है, और 0 है वो बताता है कि आपको वहीं पे खड़ा रहना है। तो आपका वेट है वो 0 है, तो आपका जो यहाँ पे प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट है उसमें वेट वहीं पे रहा, इनपुट आपका पॉजिटिव एक्स डायरेक्शन में गया और आपका आउटपुट नेगेटिव एक्स डायरेक्शन में गया, ठीक है। और फिर उसके एसोसिएटेड ये जो एज है, आपकी एज डिफाइन हो गई, अल्टीमेटली आपकी डायरेक्शन से आपकी एज डिफाइन हो गई कि वो कहाँ पे मूव हो रही है, ठीक है। अभी मुझे एज का जो वेट है वो डिफाइन करना है, वो कहाँ से डिफाइन होगा, वो एसटी से डिफाइन होगा। अगर मेरा 0 है तो वो वेट 0 है, अगर 1 है तो दैट मीन्स 1D है। तो अगर आप देखोगे कि वेट जो है वो जो उसी पोजीशन में रह रहा है उस टाइम पे वहां पे डी है। क्यों डी है, क्योंकि ये 1 है, ठीक है। तो दैट मीन्स कि वेट वहीं पे रहेगा लेकिन उसका डिले होगा वो 1D पे। आपका इनपुट पॉजिटिव एक्स डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है पर उसके अगेंस्ट में एसटी 0 है, ठीक है। सिमिलरली आपका आउटपुट जो है वो नेगेटिव डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ -1, पर उसका वेट है वो डी है। नाउ गुड थिंग अबाउट द सिस्टोलिक एरे इज कि जो इनपुट आउटपुट डायरेक्शन आपका एक प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट के लिए वो सभी के लिए एप्लीकेबल हो। तो आपका ये अगर दूसरा प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट है, ब्लॉक है, तो उसमें भी ये रिप्लिकेट हो रहा है, तीसरा भी है उसमें रेप्लिकेट हो रहा है। तो ये जो प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट है उसके लिए ये सारी चीज आपकी रेप्लिकेट हो रही है, ठीक है, ठीक है। Now just try to visualize this. With this, if you are getting any issue, let me know. Abhi हाँ, means here just to show that they have defined 3 processing elements. Now it is not necessary. Okay, systolic array में आपका प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट एक जो है उसका रिप्रेजेंट करना जरूरी है, और दूसरा प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट इस वजह से चाहिए कि जिससे आपसे पता चलेगा कि एक प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट से दूसरे प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट में डेटा कैसे मूव कर रहा है। सो अल्टीमेटली 2 प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन इज गुड इनफ, बट इन द बुक दे हैव डिफाइंड 3 प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट टू जस्ट गेट इट मोर क्लैरिटी दैट हाउ द डेटा इज मूविंग। तो आप देख सकते हो कि ये प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट से दूसरे प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट में जैसा डेटा मूव हो रहा है वैसा ही दूसरे से तीसरे में हो रहा है। हेलो, अगेन somebody is speaking.
क्या ऑन हो गया?
हेलो, okay, okay. So what we are discussing that here just to say that how the particular systolic array graph is being identified. This 3 processing element is defined. Okay, of course that totally depends upon कि आपका इनपुट x वेक्टर कितना है, आपका वेट वेक्टर कितना है, क्योंकि आपका FIR फिल्टर है वो एक्चुअली में डिफाइन होता है वेदर इट इज 10 पॉइंट FIR फिल्टर, 5 पॉइंट FIR फिल्टर, सो दैट डिफाइन दैट उस वेक्टर में उतने एलिमेंट हैं, ठीक है। तो अभी हमने ये जनरलाइज केस रखा है कि अगर आपका 5 पॉइंट FIR और 10 पॉइंट FIR पर हर एक के लिए ये कनेक्शन होगा वो ऐसा ही रहेगा। अगर मैंने अपने तीनों वेक्टर की वैल्यू ये डिफाइन की, तीनों वेक्टर की वैल्यू ये डिफाइन की, और अगर मैं इनपुट आउटपुट और रिजल्ट को ऐसे रिप्रेजेंट करना चाहता हूं, तो मेरा ब्लॉक डायग्राम जो होगा वो इस तरीके से दिखेगा, कि जिसमें डेटा मूव किस डायरेक्शन में होगा और उसका डिले कितना होगा वो डिफाइन किया। अभी ये डिले एलिमेंट क्या डिफाइन कर रहा है कि मेरा जो वेट वेक्टर है, वो वेट वेक्टर में मैं जो एक वैल्यू दूंगा, तो दूसरा वेट मेरा एक क्लॉक साइकिल के बाद आएगा, वो फौरन नहीं आएगा। दैट मीन्स W1 होगा, उसके बाद ब्लैंक होगा, उसके बाद W2 होगा, उसके बाद ब्लैंक होगा, उसके बाद W3 होगा, वो ब्लैंक होगा, फिर W4 होगा। दैट सजेस्ट दैट इनपुट क्या होगा, इनपुट मेरा X1 आएगा, X2 आएगा, X3 आएगा। सो X1 पहली क्लॉक पे होगा, X2 दूसरी क्लॉक पे होगा, X3 तीसरी क्लॉक पे होगा। मेरा जो आउटपुट जनरेट होगा, वो आउटपुट ऐसे जनरेट होगा कि मेरा Y1 फर्स्ट क्लॉक में होगा, सेकंड क्लॉक में कुछ नहीं होगा, Y2 मेरा थर्ड क्लॉक में होगा, फोर्थ क्लॉक में कुछ नहीं होगा, फिफ्थ क्लॉक में Y3 होगा, ऐसे जनरेट होगा। दिस सजेस्ट दैट, ओके। यस, एनी डाउट फ्रॉम एमटेक साइड? नहीं। अभी ये आपका लो लेवल रिप्रेजेंटेशन है। लो लेवल रिप्रेजेंटेशन क्या है कि ये जो ब्लॉक है उसके अंदर क्या है वो डिफाइन कर रहा है। ये प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट है, तो प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट के अंदर क्या फंक्शनलिटी हो रही है, तो प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट में क्या होगा, अल्टीमेटली मेरा इनपुट वेट के साथ मल्टीप्लाई होगा। अल्टीमेटली एफआईआर फिल्टर में यही होता है, इनपुट वेट के साथ मल्टीप्लाई होता है। तो ये मेरा इनपुट आ रहा है, ये मेरा इनपुट है, ये मेरा वेट है, और फिर वो मेरा एक्यूमुलेट होगा। सो अल्टीमेटली यहां पे ये जो आएगा उससे मेरा एक्यूमुलेट क्या होगा कि मेरा जो इनपुट के साथ मेरा वेट का मल्टीप्लीकेशन है वो एक्यूमुलेट होगा। तो ये अल्टीमेटली मेरा आउटपुट हुआ। एक्यूमुलेशन का आउटपुट क्या होगा, वो मेरा एडर का आउटपुट होगा। अल्टीमेटली क्या होगा, W1 इंटू X1 प्लस W2 इंटू X2 प्लस W3 इंटू X2, ठीक है, वो मेरा एक्यूमुलेट होगा। तो ये मेरा इनर डायग्राम है कि जिसमें एक मल्टीप्लायर होगा, एक एडर होगा। डेफिनेटली एफआईआर फिल्टर में मुझे ये रिसोर्सेज चाहिए। इनपुट मेरा ऐसे आ रहा है, वेट मेरा एक डिले के बाद आ रहा है, क्योंकि मैंने यहाँ पे ऐसा डिफाइन किया। तो ये जो वेट आ रहा है, ये देखो, ये यहाँ पे एक डिले के बाद आ रहा है, इनपुट मेरा डायरेक्टली आ रहा है, और फिर जो आपका आउटपुट आ रहा है वो एक डिले के बाद है। ये आउटपुट आया, ये डिले एलिमेंट है, फिर मेरा दूसरा आउटपुट है, ठीक है। सो ये मेरा इसका इंटरनल डायग्राम है। सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट डायग्राम ये है, स्पेस टाइम रिप्रेजेंटेशन डायग्राम। ये कैसे डिजाइन होता है, आपका जो STE है वो आपका एक्स एक्सिस पे मैप होगा, टाइम एक्सिस पे, और आपका प्रोसेस वेक्टर है वो वाई पे होगा। देखो, ये PT मेरा प्रोसेस वेक्टर है, STE मेरा टाइम वेक्टर है, शेड्यूलिंग वेक्टर है। तो वो मैप कैसे होगा, देखो अभी ये आप देखो, देखना है कि ये 1 0 है, तो वेट जो है ये जो आपका है इसको आपको x मानना है, ST को x मानना है और PT को y मानना है, एंड दिस XY यू नीड टू कंसीडर। तो वेट जो है वो x1 है, y0 है। सो दैट मीन्स वेट जो है वो मेरा इस डायरेक्शन में जाएगा। 1 0 इज नथिंग बट माई x डायरेक्शन, पॉजिटिव x डायरेक्शन। अगेन ये आपका x हुआ, ये मेरा y हुआ। तो इस वेक्टर को आपको कैसे रीड करना है, 1 0, क्योंकि ये x हुआ, तो x की वैल्यू 1 है, y की वैल्यू 0 है, तो x 1 है, y 0 है। सो दैट मीन पॉजिटिव x डायरेक्शन, ठीक है। फिर यहां पे देखो ST 0 है, PT 1 है, तो ये ST मेरा x हुआ, तो x 0 है, y 1 है, तो वो मुझे क्या डिफाइन करेगा, पॉजिटिव y डायरेक्शन। फिर मेरा यहां पे x 1 है, y -1 है, तो वो आपका फोर्थ क्वाड्रेंट हुआ, ठीक है। तो आपका ये जो स्पेस टाइम डायग्राम होगा सिस्टोलिक डायग्राम, इसमें वेट मेरा x डायरेक्शन में जाएगा, इनपुट मेरा पॉजिटिव y डायरेक्शन में जाएगा, और ये मेरा जो रिजल्ट है y0 वो 1 - 1 डायरेक्शन में जाएगा। तो ये मेरा 1 - 1 डायरेक्शन। तो ये जो नोड है वो मेरा प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट है, वो प्रोसेसिंग एलिमेंट में डेटा ऐसे मूव होगा, दैट मीन्स इनपुट मेरा ऐसे जाएगा, वेट मेरा ऐसे जाएगा और आउटपुट मेरा ऐसे जनरेट होगा। अभी इस केस को मैं देखूं तो ये क्या है, ब्रॉडकास्ट इनपुट, इनपुट मैंने ब्रॉडकास्ट किया, फिर रिजल्ट मेरा मूव हो रहा है और वेट वहीं पे रह रहा है। देखो वेट मेरा वहीं पे रहेगा, वेट विल स्टे, ठीक है। सो वेट स्टे, ब्रॉडकास्ट इनपुट, इनपुट जो है वो सभी जगह पे जा रहा है एंड रिजल्ट मेरा मूव हो रहा है, ठीक है। सो दिस इज नथिंग बट माय डिस रिप्रेजेंटेशन। अगर आप कोई भी एक प्रोसेस वेक्टर डिफाइन करते हो और ये मेरा एज डिफाइन करते हो तो आपका ये केस डिफाइन होता है जो मेरे इन तीनों डायग्राम से मैच करता है, ठीक है। अभी वैसा ही दूसरा एग्जांपल है, पर वो दूसरा एग्जांपल हम डिस्कस नेक्स्ट टाइम करेंगे, पर पहले इस एग्जांपल को आपको क्लियरली समझना है, ठीक है। सो मे बी यू कैन गो थ्रू अ पारही बुक, पारही बुक में ये एग्जांपल दिया है, उसको आप सही तरीके से समझ लो। अगर इसमें कोई दिक्कत आ रहा है देन लेट मी नो, वी कैन डिस्कस, ठीक है। सो नेक्स्ट क्लास जो मेरा परसों होगा उस टाइम पे मैं आपको सेकंड केस समझाऊंगा, और सेकंड केस समझने के लिए यू नीड टू इंश्योर कि आपको फर्स्ट केस सही से समझ में आया है। अगर नहीं आ रहा है तो फिर से बताना, मैं फिर से आपको समझा दूंगा, ठीक है। सो विद दिस वी आर एंडिंग अप आवर सेशन। यस, एनी डाउट फ्रॉम एमटेक साइड? चलो ठीक है, ओके, देन सी यू नेक्स्ट टाइम, बाय।